Imagine, you close your eyes and you're not just hearing your favorite track, you're standing in the recording room where it was made. The drums are behind you, the piano is front left, the vocalist is breathing right next to your right ear. But you're still in your chair. What if your headphones could deliver that level of spatial realism and tonal integrity without compromise? That's exactly the promise of the HEDDphone D1. For decades, HEDD audio has been known for studio monitor excellence, speakers built to reveal the truth behind the music. Now they've taken that same philosophy and brought it to the personal listening space. With the D1, HEDD says, precision without compromise. And when you look under the hood, the engineering is anything but ordinary. The first of its kind dynamic headphone with a Thin-Ply Carbon Diaphragm, a driver technology previously reserved for aerospace and elite applications. That starts to tell you, this isn't just a nice-to-have headphone, it's built to push boundaries. Slide the D1 onto your head. At a glance, you see open-back, lightweight construction, elegant German build quality, and you feel something else: restraint. The kind of restraint that whispers studio reference rather than bass beast. The headband and ear cups feel thoughtfully engineered. Velour pads, 350 grams net weight. Enough presence to feel premium, but light enough to disappear when you're lost in sound. The open-back design gives you audible room and air, something that closed headphones seldom fix well. And it pairs with the TPCD driver, Thin-Ply Carbon, a composite used in things like Formula One and the Mars helicopter. Head quote. TPCD eliminates the need for traditional damping at the diaphragm level, enabling faster, cleaner, and more accurate performance. That sentence alone reveals the ambition. Faster, cleaner, more accurate. Put simply, it feels like a headphone made for listening enthusiasts, not just casual users. Now let's step into the sonic world of the D1. First, frequency range, 5 Hz to 40 kHz. Yes, you'll never hear that upper end, but the implication is clarity and headroom. Impedance is 32 ohms, sensitivity 100 dB at 1 mWh, meaning you can drive it with a portable player and also scale up with a higher-end amp. The D1 delivers transient speed and detail retrieval thanks to the thin carbon diaphragm and custom dynamic driver. HEDD claims, every note feels balanced and immediate, details are revealed without fatigue. In practice, what does this mean? You hear micro details, the reverb tail on a snare, the decay of a piano string, the ambient shiver in a vocal recording room. The soundstage is open. Instruments don't sit glued to your head. They sit around you. Despite the openness, it retains bass solidity, not overpowering but present. You don't get ear fatigue after long sessions, because there isn't aggressive coloration. Here's a quick breakdown. Clarity and balance. The carbon driver gives you clean upper mids and controlled highs. No shimmer for the sake of sparkle, but natural air. HEDD puts it. The D1's TPCD driver delivers a new level of sonic clarity and tonal accuracy. Comfort and immersion. Low-mass driver architecture plus open design equals long sessions that remain effortless. Lightweight and comfortable, perfect for extended listening sessions. Compatibility and scalability, with 32 ohms. It works well from your phone or DAP, but the design invites you to plug in a high-quality amp or DAC and hear what it can really do. Here's where the D1 pulls ahead of its peers. That Thin-Ply Carbon Diaphragm. HEDD says they worked with Swedish company Composite Sound, specialists in advanced audio diaphragms. Think about it. Most dynamic headphone drivers use metal or polymer membranes, with damping, mass compromises, and trade-offs between speed and control. The TPCD shakes that assumption. No traditional damping at the diaphragm level. Diaphragm mass is reduced, meaning faster response. Structural resonance is controlled inherently. In practical terms, when a transient strike happens, say a snare or pluck, the driver reacts swiftly, without hangover. You get cleaner leading edges, better separation between instruments, and more realistic spacing. When the track goes wide, you're hearing width. When it's intimate, you feel it. This is the micro-hook moment. Here's what no one talks about in dynamic headphones: diaphragm architecture. And the D1 delivers it. Let's position the D1 within your headphone universe. If you're used to flat studio headphones, the D1 is a credible contender. If you're coming from consumer bass-heavy models, this is a different beast. Against consumer-friendly models, the D1 trades flashy bass and hype for refined control and realism. Instruments are placed precisely, the soundstage opens up, and fatigue is lower. Against open-back studio monitors, the D1 competes well, offering similar transparency in a personal form. The open design and carbon diaphragm approach blur the line between monitor and headphone. Against high-impedance planar models, those may offer ultra-low distortion and huge soundstage, but at the cost of requiring heavy power and typically higher weight. Here the D1 keeps 32 ohms, remains portable, and still scales. If I were to grade it, for clarity and detail, I'd lean A. For bass extension compared to hype bass models, maybe B+. But for fatigue-free immersive listening, A. In other words, very strong across the board with minor trade-offs. If you want pounding sub-bass, you might still want a companion. Now, when you're investing around the $600 to $800 mark, roughly $700 to $900, there are a few heavy hitters in the open back, reference grade category that deserve mention. Each of them interprets high-end listening differently, offering you a choice between warmth, detail, and personality. Focal Clear MG. The French-made Clear MG is one of the most respected open-back dynamic headphones in this class. Its design exudes luxury, beautiful magnesium drivers, perforated leather, and a signature sound that leans musical rather than analytical. Compared to the D1, it's slightly warmer, with a rounder mid-range and more tactile bass. It's for those who want their music to feel alive, not just accurate. The HEDDphone D1, on the other hand, stays truer to the studio, its thin-ply carbon driver chasing precision over lushness. If Focal gives you emotion, HEDD gives you truth. HiFiMAN Arya. Organic. In the planar magnetic realm, the Arya Organic has become a benchmark for wide soundstage and ethereal transparency. It delivers immense spatial separation but demands serious amplification to shine. The D1, by contrast, runs happily off moderate power and still reveals incredible micro detail. The Arya sounds cinematic. The D1 sounds physical, rooted, realistic, and harmonically balanced. Sennheiser HD800S, a legend that still sets standards for imaging and treble extension. The HD800S is leaner, more spacious, and slightly brighter. The D1 trades some of that massive width for tighter, more cohesive imaging and better tonal density. If you prefer pinpoint precision and a cleaner low end, D1 might feel more natural over long sessions. If you live for grand soundstage scale, the HD800S remains a classic choice. Audeze LCD-X 2021. The LCD-X offers rich planar bass, heavy body, and lush presence that's tailor-made for mixing engineers who love density. It's physically heavier and power-hungry, but rewards you with a thick, almost tactile sound. The HEDDphone D1, on the other hand, is lighter, faster, and more revealing. It sacrifices some warmth for breathtaking speed. In summary, Focal gives you musical beauty. HiFiMAN gives you cinematic width. Sennheiser gives you iconic precision. Audeze gives you thunder and texture. But HEDD gives you balance, clarity, speed, and a neutrality that doesn't feel sterile. It's the headphone that bridges emotion and engineering, art and science. Picture this. It's late evening. You're unwinding after a long day, cue up your favorite vinyl rip on a high-quality DAP or DAC. You plug into the D1. The open back allows you to stay aware of your room. Your pet dog moves. The air conditioner hums, but you're still immersed. The vocals drift above one ear, the piano glides to your left, the rhythm section steers past the right. It's music you've heard 100 times, but tonight you hear new things. Or imagine, you're working on an audio editing session, a podcast, a film score, a music mix. You need headphones that don't color the source, that reveal what's really there. The D1 doesn't just play. It shows. And you respond. Hours pass. No fatigue. No cringing at harsh highs or boomy mids. Just focus. The D1 isn't about turning up for fun, though you can. It's about accurate enjoyment and deep listening. So where does that leave us? The HEDDphone D1 delivers on the promise of reference-grade accuracy in headphone form. With its thin-ply carbon driver, open-back design, and thoughtful build, it bridges the worlds of studio monitor and personal headphone. Pros: exceptional clarity, transient control, and tonal balance. Comfortable long-session listening thanks to low diaphragm mass and open design. Good source compatibility with room to scale. Real German craftsmanship with an assurance of 5-year warranty and 30-day returns. Considerations: open back means less isolation. Not ideal for noisy or mobile use. Bass is controlled and accurate, not boom first. If you love deep chest thump bass, it may feel conservative. Price, around €700, puts it in premium territory. You'll want to use it with good source gear to realize full potential. If I apply a grading, clarity, Shopbird Socket A, immersion, Shopbird Set A, value to use for serious listeners, Shopbird Socket A. For someone seeking purely bass-driven fun, maybe a B+. But for the listener who wants real sound, accurate reproduction, and hours of fatigue-free listening, the D1 is a standout. If you're ready to step into the world of headphone listening that doesn't feel like compromise, the HEDDphone D1 deserves your audition. And I'd love to know, when you listen, what detail surprises you the most? Drop it in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss the next deep dive. Until next time, listen carefully, listen deeply.